Good, I guess, evening, everyone. I wanted to make a video on my way to work this morning, but couldn't because the phone kept getting too hot, and then the camera would turn off and I would not have cameras anymore. You know, smartphones and all that. Can't even do things like record without overheating. Guess that's just what it is with the technology we got nowadays. Incredibly capable, but bad at the same time. But I guess the thing I wanted to talk about today was not really reparations. I'm kind of over the whole reparations thing right now. I do think something needs to be done about it. I just don't think reparations is now the good way to go about it. Specifically because there are a lot of people suffering. Just giving one group of people, even though they should do it because we're justified in having that payment done, because, you know, it's a debt that's owed. And the people that run this country are always talking about paying your debts back. And America has a big one to pay back to black people. But I would, in exchange for not having a reparations, would be for having a better UBI, or universal basic income. And I've given this some thought. I used to be a fan of making direct payments to people, but we already know that money is going to go right back into the hands of white people. That's just what's going to happen, since white people control and own most things in the country. But a new way I've been thinking about: what if we put the cost of specific utilities and services back on the state? So for you, the average American, doesn't matter what your skin color is, you will be able to not pay for things like water, electricity, maybe things like telecommunications, internet, the basic things that you need to survive in a first world country like America. We like to call ourselves a first world country. I like to think we're a third world country with, and as I heard it, a Gucci belt. That's actually very funny to hear. But if we put the cost of services that one needs in order to survive in this country on the state, like it should be, and not on the individual, it kind of acts as a indirect wealth transfer. And the reason this is good is because with the advancements of artificial intelligence, we have a lot of things like generative AI in art, the ability to write scripts. I mean, now even like movies is, well, I guess maybe not movies, but the video production that AI is capable of nowadays is making full animations now. And the one thing that people don't understand is that this type of technology is the worst that it's going to be currently. So as this technology improves, more and more people are going to lose their jobs. And I don't really mind people losing their jobs to technology. Jobs are always lost to technology, right? Nobody shed a tear when Blockbuster Video went under because Netflix came out. I remember when that one happened. Like, we went from going to Hollywood Video once a week to rent video games, just not anymore. I don't remember exactly when it completely died, but they tried to compete but just couldn't. I mean, how do you compete with a service that's near instant? So with people losing their jobs, people are going to lean harder into their skills. It could be art, animation, acting, maybe you write scripts, you write books, comic books, maybe you're in the woodwork, like anything can happen, right? That will cause a person to have to rely on these skills. But the issue is, living is so fucking expensive right now that even if you're really good at your skill, you can't make money from it. It doesn't matter how good an artist you are, you're not making money from it. It doesn't matter how good you are at woodwork. You could be Nick Offerman, right? And you still wouldn't get a job that's capable of paying your bills year round, just so you can be able to afford to live. And this is tragic because there are a lot of skillful people in the world that don't get to start companies or even work with their own hands because they have to set aside those dreams just so they can work a job for somebody else. But by the time they're done working, like I'm finishing up my 12-hour shift now, you just don't have anything else left in the tank to be able to do that. So if we put the cost of basic utilities, the things you need to survive, on the state, because I remember, or I think I said in another video, you know, the people at the top, very rich and powerful people, these people absolutely need electricity, right? They cannot maintain their lives if there's no electricity in the world. The very poor, homeless people, right? Even they need electricity. They like well-lit streets. They like being able to charge their phones. They like being able to have access to AC, clean drinking water, right? And they need these services too. So, if these groups of people absolutely need these services, then you can say all of us, everyone in the middle, also needs these services too. So it's in the best interest of the state, probably even the federal government, to just put these costs on themselves, right? We all pay taxes, and that's where our tax dollars will go to. I've always told people I'll pay upwards of like 70, 80, 90% of my income in the taxes if it meant that my livelihood was taken care of. And what happens with that is more people will be able to realize that I'm actually very skillful, that I can just make money. And while the amount of money that I would need doesn't, I'm trying to pay attention here because the roads are small and the speed limit is low. But if people were able to just make enough money with the skills that they have so they can do things like buy food, and we would probably have a food stipend as well, right? You should probably just have that one in the richest, most powerful country in the world. But I can then make money off of my art, comic books, games, or whatever. And I won't have to act like I need to do this in order to survive in the world. I think this would be an incredibly beautiful thing, because more people will realize that they can work for other people and not expect the world, right? The government will pay for your house or your shelter, pay for all your utilities, your food, anything that you need. That's not a necessity. So that TV you want, government ain't buying it for you. You want to buy that new iPhone or Samsung's new phone or whatever, the government's not going to buy it for you. But you can go to T-Mobile and get a phone from them and get extra perks and services. And you'll just get your SIM card from the government. Or you can get one from T-Mobile, because the government will just be providing a baseline, a standard. Imagine if on your phone that you own, because I do own my Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra 5G, I think that's what the whole thing is called. I do own my phone. So if I didn't want to pay T-Mobile anymore, I could just apply for a SIM card from the government or go through the website, since this phone can have an eSIM, and eSIMs are very easy to distribute, especially on newer phones. I won't have to pay just to connect, because I don't use my phone all that much. So the government gave everyone like, I don't know, 300 minutes a month, plus like maybe 5 gigs of internet. That would be good for a lot of people. Homeless people now will have access to a good service, and that won't cost them anything. Homeless people will have access to a food stipend, right, as with the rest of us, just for being citizens of America. We will start to see the quality of life improve for a lot of people. And this is what I want to see happen. We can practically eliminate homelessness just overnight. But the issue is that we have a lot of rich people. They don't want that. The better off people are, the less desperate their workforce is. And when you're working class, especially if you look how people vote, the services that we're losing, like we don't even have like electives in like grade school anymore. I remember when I was in middle school where they just started phasing art out. When I got to high school in my last year, they basically said, we're not taking some of your credits that you had for one of your other schools. I think it was like 8 credits. Some were for JROTC. I tried to get into that, but they wouldn't accept those credits, and they wouldn't take any of my art credits that I had. So I essentially had to do an entire year again, because they're just removing electives. The world is a lot more secular, yes, but the world is also a lot less educated. Many people aren't capable of critical thought nowadays, and that's worrying, because we are capable as a species of some incredible things. But I guess I can save that topic for another time because I don't really know where I want to go with that one yet. I'm actually about to pick my brother up from work and we got some things to talk about. So I just wanted to get this out because I want to get in the habit of getting in front of a phone. So I hope you all have a good day and enjoy your weekend. Chaz out.